This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. A lot of us gravitating to a more holistic way of life, or at least we're in that mindset. We're looking for something. Many of us will go to the doctor, describe a symptom or a situation, we'll get some kind of medication. It's only working on the symptoms. It's not really addressing the root cause, whereby if you look at things from a more holistic view, that's what really the goal is. Things like acupuncture, cupping, herbal medicine, and such. We're going to talk with somebody that offers many of those modalities at the New City Acupuncture and Wellness Center in Rockland County. And I'm here to learn a lot. Mordechai Genut joins us here on the program. How are you doing today?
Doing well. How are you today?
Very well, very well. Have you been finding in the last even year or so that more people are searching for something else? Maybe they're not even sure what they're searching for, but they're kind of tired of with the Western medicine mode that many of us have gotten in over decades. Are you feeling that too?
Absolutely. Especially since COVID, there's been a lot of movement towards holistic and natural health. People don't want to be continuously reliant on meds and with side effects for no end. And then those side effects, you need other medications for that. And there's no end in sight. People want to be able to get healthier, function better, and move on with their day.
So you offer a lot of different modalities. Can we pick a few of them and go a little bit deeper into it? Like, for example, acupuncture. I know that many have an aversion, the needles, all of that. It's my understanding that acupuncture needles are so fine that you could fit a few of them or quite a few in the needle that's used to draw blood, like just to illustrate the size of how fine the needles are. What do you want people to know about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, basically, it's hair thin. I mean, you're talking about, I don't know if anybody's familiar with the gauges, but it could be 34 gauge, 36 gauge, 32 gauge. I mean, very, very thin. It's not a hollow point needle. We're not drawing out blood. We're not injecting any medication. It's basically just a way to stimulate specific points along what we call the meridians or the channels. You could think of it like highways that kind of connect the organs and the tissues. And it stimulates the body's natural release of endorphins, help to calm the nervous system. So the needles itself are very, very thin. Sometimes they're even painless. Sometimes you might feel a tiny little pinch. I mean, at the end of the day, it is a needle. But the real goal is not just about the needle pinch, it's really about the effects. People mostly are very, very calm. The needles stay in the body for about 20, 25 minutes, and many of the patients fall asleep deeply.
What do they describe? Is it, maybe a little bit of pressure? Like you said, sometimes you might feel a little, I don't know. I didn't even know how to verbalize it. And I want to be
Sure.
careful the way I say it, like a little sting, just
Yeah.
it's,
So
yeah,
go
please
ahead.
explain.
Yeah. So sometimes you don't feel anything. Sometimes you feel a tiny little sting. But really, what we try to elicit is what we call the chi sensation in the body. So the body kind of like um, grabs onto the needle and there's a stimulation of it. So you're going to feel a sensation. We want you to feel some kind of, this is how I describe it to patients. You might feel a throbbing, like a heaviness, like a tingly sensation. Sometimes people feel like itchy, but those are all normal feelings. If it feels like a needle, you just tell the practitioner and we just adjust it, and that's it. I mean, we don't want you to feel any pain.
Gotcha. What are some of the things that acupuncture can support?
Yeah, so the real truth is, I mean, acupuncture being 3,000 plus years old, we treat everything. And when I mean everything, I'm talking about physical ailments, emotional instability, women's health, allergies, you name it. So
Wow.
the number one thing which people look for acupuncture is really pain. They've tried everything. You have sciatica pain, you have nerve compressions, and injuries as well. Uh, just recently I had a bodybuilder come into my office. They're not able to continue on, sports people and athletes, whatever it is. Acupuncture is very effective in a natural way, again, without having to rely on those narcotics and those painkillers for no end. And really, within a few treatments, there's a tremendous improvement.
So I want to gravitate from acupuncture to herbal medicine. Both, I guess we put them under the
Sure.
Chinese medicine umbrella, if you will.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, I can tell you firsthand, herbal medicine was a game changer for me. It was a couple of years ago where I had some digestion issues. I was
Hmm.
almost going to drive myself to the hospital because in 2016, had the same situation. Didn't even know what it was. It was something I knew it was stomach related, but I wasn't diagnosed. It turned out to be an ulcer. And then I had a flare up a couple of years ago, and I'm like, I don't know if it's that or what.
Hmm.
Over the counter meds wasn't doing anything. I knew it all came from stress, and it did also in 2016.
Hmm.
I connected with a herbal medicine specialist, master herbalist. She mixed me up cat's claw, catnip, and marshmallow root. I don't know what that is, and said drink aloe vera with pulp. I got to tell you, Mordecai, in 2 days, maybe two and a half to be fully accurate, it was like nothing was wrong with my stomach, which later got diagnosed as some of those stomach issues, reflux, gastritis, blah, blah, blah. Um,
Hmm.
seriously, though, I was at the point of maybe going to the hospital. It was like, I don't know what's wrong here. I don't know if it's an
Yeah.
ulcer. More couple of days, game changer. And that bottle of stuff she concocted, I went on to give it to others. Oh, you're dealing with something similar? Here, try this. It works. It's amazing. It's amazing. What can you tell us for anybody that hasn't experienced herbals? What do you want people to know there?
Sure. First, I'm really glad that you shared that because my personal journey actually started with this as well. I've had digestive issues as a young teenager for years. And you said you almost drove yourself to the hospital. I was in the hospital. There was one event where, without getting into graphic details, I mean, I was completely dehydrated from just digestive, issues, gastritis, and,
Yeah.
uh,
And,
and
and by
I,
the way, 2016, it was on my birthday. I did go to the hospital. I did.
okay,
And
right.
my blood pressure, which is low, it's normal, was so high. I felt like my eyeballs were popping out of my head because I didn't know what was going on. What is wrong with
Yeah.
me? How bad is this? They had to give me a med to calm me down. I thought I was going down that road again.
Mhm.
Herbals, like, oh, we can relate.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I tried was acupuncture years ago before I started doing this in terms of a profession, and I took the herbs as well. Chinese medicine. It's a little bit different than maybe other herbal medicine, but this is basically under the umbrella of traditional Chinese medicine, and it works with balancing the body out within 2 days, similar to what you're expressing. My issues were so calm. Like I remember sitting at the dinner table and feeling, hey, this is weird. Like I'm calm. Like my stomach is not going crazy. So yeah, I can totally relate to what you're referring to. And you asked about herbal medicine in general. So this is actually what Chinese medicine is about. It's a combination of acupuncture, herbs, lifestyle, breathing exercises,
Mm.
nutritional support, cupping, massage, really not just regular massage, but called Tui Na, which is a Chinese medical massage. So this is what the combination of stuff we do with patients. It's not just putting needles in, that's it. We really take the entire body, mind, and lifestyle into consideration in a holistic way.
So you've shared, and I appreciate that, your background that led you to herbals. What inspired you to become an acupuncturist, learn about all this other stuff, and open up New City Wellness Center?
Yeah, so that's a really great question. Because of my experience, and I've seen that it helped me, I've always had an interest in natural medicine and helping people. So I thought, hey, this is just perfect. Let me go ahead and pursue it. And once I started the study of it, and we had a clinic over there, and I saw tremendous results with people, that really inspired me. And now doing this for over 15 years, I mean, we could say firsthand how
Wow.
people's lives are changed.
So you offer many, many different modalities to move lives forward. I don't even know where to begin. What about cupping? Now that was big. I want to say, or got a lot of attention about 15 or so years ago. A lot of celebrities were doing
Mhm.
cupping and were even doing pictures. Social
Yeah.
media was blooming back then, and you'd see these marks on their body. What is going on with cupping?
Yeah. Okay, so definitely cupping has become very popular. Athletes and Hollywood, and yeah, once they push something out, like, oh my God, I want to try cupping. But cupping is, again, it's an ancient remedy. And what it does, it's like a detox internally. It helps with blood flow. It helps to reduce inflammation. Those circle marks that you see post cupping, really what it is because of the suction, it draws out the toxins from inside. The darker the cups mark, the darker the circles are, that means there is more what we call stagnation or lack of flow. And so once we draw that out, it opens up those blockages, and then the pain gets better. And many times people actually feel calm from it as well, because there's a natural detox from cups.
So is that Chinese medicine as well?
It is, but it not necessarily is exclusive to it. I mean, if I remember correctly, there are many European, ancient, not ancient, but traditional, cultures. They talk about cupping. There's in other there are different names to it, probably. I don't know if you're familiar with the word bankus. Bankus is something that a lot of European people are
Well,
familiar with. They used to use it for colds. Like they would cup on the chest to draw out, let's say you had some kind of like respiratory ailment, so this from the upper back as well, because the lungs are that area as well. So it is, but it isn't.
when we talk about acupuncture, can you give us a success story? Maybe you work with somebody, a client who had, a challenge and then overcame it through acupuncture.
Sure. I'm really glad you asked because just yesterday somebody just wrote me a review and I'll share that.
Oh,
So
perfect.
So this individual came in just a few weeks ago. He had some prior car accidents and he had pain shooting down both legs. The way he described it was like electric sensations going down both legs. He wasn't able to walk for 10 minutes straight. 90% of his body, the way he described it, is just in pain. Couldn't move. When he walked into the office, he was walking slow, leaned forward. He just completely like not functioning. And he's got to work. He has a family to support. So of course, like I do with all the patients, I take the entire lifestyle into consideration. We spend a lot of time with the patients, not just about, hey, here's your pain, take this med and go home, but it's really about getting a background overall health. And so I did some treatment. Uh, Within the second treatment, the pain that was shooting down both legs, one of the legs was completely gone, and the other leg was just like localized to a specific area. Within a few more treatments, he described that now he can walk for an hour straight without having to stop. His leg used to feel like a stiff rock. He was not able to move it. And so this is sciatica, some kind of, nerve compression, maybe some herniation of the discs. I mean, after a car accident, God knows what can happen. That's a very, very common thing I see in the office because sciatica is debilitating. I mean, people can't function. You got the shooting pains. You cannot drive. You cannot move. You cannot sit. You cannot stand. You cannot sleep. So this was just recent, and not so long before that, there was a woman, a young lady, also similar, not from a car accident, but she had some disc compression, some herniation, and she said she couldn't even sit like for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, even like at her desk, and she worked. But after 2 or 3 sessions, she was able to sit pretty much all day at work, and the pain 90% like improved. I mean, these are the drastic things we see within just a few sessions because the way it works is the body has to adjust and it has to release all that blockage. And then once the blockage is released and the flow can improve, naturally the body wants to heal itself. And then things are calmed down. And you described about the stress factor. A lot of times it comes together. If you're not functioning, you're not calm. You got anxiety, you can't sleep, you got
Yes.
stress. So all that comes together and we help the mind and body together.
Once you start down that road, it gets worse. The
Yeah.
anxiety, the stress, all of it, and not just thinking about um your medical condition, your health, just everything, all of this
Yeah,
working to
sure.
challenge us. Self-care, so important. I one of the reasons why I wound up in the hospital in 2016 was, by the way, I never practiced self-care. I didn't even know what it was. Um,
Yeah.
Life different now. What can you share with us in terms of self-care? Somebody that is dealing with some stress, maybe some pain, anxiety. What would you suggest?
Yeah, no, that's really great. A lot of people forget to breathe. You're breathing all day anyway. Might as well learn how to do it correctly. Okay, so breathing is so important, especially in today's days. We're so busy with nonsense. I mean, you're busy on your phone all day and you drive yourself insane and you forget to breathe. Take a moment, 5 minutes, put the phone down, calm. I tell patients, put on some gentle, calm, natural, music in the background. Close your eyes, take a few cleansing breaths. Inhale from your nose, exhale from your mouth. Feel your abdomen, rise, feel your abdomen fall. Just do that for 5 or 10 breaths, and you will see within a minute how much different you feel. And then you do that for a couple of minutes every day. And what you do is you actually improving, your blood flow, you're calming your nervous system, you're de-stressing. You're able to function better. You get
Wow.
clear-headed. So breathing, that's the key.
It is so true. And I know that many will hear that and say, "Oh, come on. Man, really? That's going to make a difference. Like I breathe anyway." No,
No,
scientifically.
no, no, you don't. See, that's the thing. You breathe naturally without realizing, but breathing consciously is a whole different game.
I'm so on your page, and you being plugged into uh, Eastern cultures, Asian cultures, they normally deep breathe. They're not walking around like we are, like, and 15-second story. I once spoke with a friend. We were working outside on a deck and doing it, and we were like, "Oh, I'm tired. Me too. Like, what is going on? Like, I'm not, it's not the heat. It sounds ridiculous to even admit this, but we both realized at that moment that we weren't breathing properly, breathing deeply. We were breathing just short breaths. And that
Yeah.
woke me up to what a difference it is when you just take that deep breath. Um, this is just a piece of what you offer at your center in it's New City, correct? It's Rockland County, but it's New City.
Yeah, it's called New City Acupuncture and Wellness Center.
Got it. Can you help? Obviously, you have to be there for acupuncture and some of the other treatments, cupping and such. Can you work with people virtually when it comes to maybe herbal medicine and some of the other things?
Yeah, so that's a real great question. Actually, what I do in the office is I offer a free consultation for 15 minutes where a patient can come in without any pressure. They can just express about what they've experienced, and then they can hear a little bit about what we do and see if that's something they want to do. No, they don't have to lock themselves out to anything, and really they benefit tremendous from that. Virtual, it's a little bit difficult with acupuncture, obviously. With any kind of treatment hands-on, it will be very difficult, but there's so many
Sure.
other things which can be beneficial. So what we call Qigong. Qigong is basically like breath and movement, and having the right posture techniques. It's not just exercise, but it's again learning to release, learning to let go, learning to have the energy flow through your body in a natural, calm way. I spoke about the breathing that can be very beneficial as well.
Sure.
Nutritional support can be done virtually as well. Lifestyle modification, all that could be done virtual. Herbal remedies can as well. You don't necessarily have to have the patient in person, although it's probably better, but
Sure.
there's plenty what you can do virtually and, be able to help somebody in that way.
That herbalist that I mentioned before, I never met her. I'm
Yeah.
in New York. She's in Colorado. And after that, it was just some texting, and it showed up at my door. Um, yeah, it's amazing in our world now what we can do. What's the best way to find you, Mordecai? How do we reach out to you?
Yeah. So I just want to quickly mention one more thing about the herbal thing.
Sure.
So the reason it can do it virtually is because in Chinese medicine, we don't just work on the symptom, on what we're seeing, the headache. We look at the root issue. Why does the person have a headache? And we try to work on that underlying stuff. And that's where the herbs come in to be able to bring the root and the symptoms into a balanced state. Okay. Where you can find me, basically, I have a website, newcitywellness.com. If you do a Google search for like a Google listing, I have a Google page and many patients write reviews as well. You can see more about what we help people with because it's in their own words. Again, it's New City Acupuncture Wellness Center. And from there, they can, of course, uh, click on the booking link, which can get them to a free 15-minute consultation in office with, like I said, no pressure. They don't have to sign up to anything right then and there, just to give them an opportunity to get to know the place and to talk about their goals.
Thank you for everything today. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
A lot
Thank
of
you.
wonderful insight, and there's a whole world out there to keep you healthy. But interestingly, it's the old world. This is nothing.
Yeah.
This has been around for thousands of years. Truly appreciate it. Looking forward if we get a chance to get together again.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.